Request all of you to please pay attention. Request all the students to please keep silent. Good afternoon to one and all. A very warm welcome to all the ladies and gentlemen present here, students, my dear colleagues, and all viewers participating online in today's valedictory session of World Space Week 2022, being organized by Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR, Sriharikota.
Now, let us invite our dignitaries onto the dais with a bouquet. We are delighted to invite Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist Director, Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR.
It's a great honor to invite our chief guest, Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Tirupati.
It is our pleasure to invite Dr. R. Venkatraman, Associate Director, SDSC-SHAR.
We are privileged to invite Sri M. Srinivasalu Reddy, Controller, SDSC-SHAR.
We take immense pleasure to invite Sri R. Senthil Kumar, DD MSA, Chairman, Organizing Committee, World Space Week.
We are happy to invite Sri T.S. Raghuram, Chairman, Inaugural and Valedictory Committee and Deputy Director, SOAC. Prayer is a song of heart that makes its way to the throne of God. We invite students of Space Central School for invocation. Let us all stand for invocation.
शुभं करोति कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते दीपज्योति नमोस्तुते।
The power of knowledge is in all of us. May God Saraswati illuminate the glow and strive for more knowledge in us forever. I humbly request all the dignitaries to join for lamp lighting.
We are happy to announce that we have successfully conducted events as a part of World Space Week 2022 in physical mode, first time ever after the pandemic. We have branched across Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Puducherry and Orissa to host the occasion. Various events occurred at venues of Sulurpeta, Bobbili, Amaravati, Puttaparthi, Vellore, Karaikal, Chennai and Cuttack with enthusiastic participation all over. Now, with this we call upon Dr. Binu Matthew, Head Medical SDSC-SHAR for welcome address.
Good afternoon. Today, the 10th of October, marks the official closure of World Space Week 2022. We have gathered here for the formal valedictory function of the World Space Week 2022 celebrations. World Space Week 2022 was initiated on 4th October with a splendid start by Director Satish Dhawan Space Center, Shri A. Rajarajan, distinguished scientist, flagging off the whole program from Space Museum, SDSC, Sriharikota. Later in the day, we had our World Space Week 2022 inaugurated and declared open by Honorable Governor of Tamil Nadu, Shri R. N. Ravi. To bring awareness about the World Space Week program, various events were organized for different categories such as school children, college students, etc. in both online and offline mode. The theme for this year, being Space and Sustainability, is inspired by how sustainability in space relates to how humanity uses space, most pressingly the orbital area surrounding Earth. SDSC-SHAR conducted competitions in the states of Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We received an overwhelming response from various schools and colleges from across these states. We received several thousands of posters, essays, and drawings as part of the competition, out of which some of them have been very creative, inspirational, and mind-boggling for the fact that there are many young minds in our country who can positively contribute to space and sustainability to make our space environment cleaner in the coming future. On behalf of the World Space Week 2022 Organizing Committee, I take this opportunity to welcome our dignitaries on the dais. I am honored and privileged to welcome our chief guest who has consented to grace the occasion today, Shri K.N. Satyanarayana, Director IIT Tirupati. He is known for his pioneering studies on building technology and construction management. He also holds the chairmanship of the Academic Advisory Group, Project Management Institute, India. A hearty welcome to you, sir. It's a great privilege for me to welcome our beloved director, Shri A. Rajarajan, distinguished scientist, the director of Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota, the spaceport of India. Shri A. Rajarajan is an expert in the area of composites. As a director of Satish Dhawan Space Center, his priorities is to meet the ISRO's increased demand of launches, including launches for human space program Gaganyaan and SSLV, the small satellite launch vehicle. A hearty welcome to you, sir. It's my honor to welcome our Associate Director, Sri R. Venkatraman, outstanding scientist. He is recognized for his contribution in vehicle integration operation for PSLV and GSLV strap-on motors. A hearty welcome to you, sir. It's my honor to welcome our controller, Sri M. Srinivasulu Reddy, who with his administrative excellence coordinated with various administrative teams across the states of Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh to make the week-long program a success. A warm welcome to you, sir. It's my honor to welcome Sri R. Senthil Kumar, Deputy Director, Management Systems Area, Chairman, Organizing Committee, World Space Week 2022. Sir, with your proven expertise in conducting many such programs like this, you have excelled yet again. The dedication you have given to every bit of detail of the program is remarkable. A warm welcome to you, sir. It's my honor to welcome Sri T.S. Raghuram, Deputy Director, Safety Operation and Systems Entity, our Chairman of Committee for Inauguration and Valedictory Program, World Space Week 2022, who with his expertise in delegation and execution capabilities, constant enthusiasm, has brought out the best in us. A warm welcome, sir. I warmly welcome all the Deputy Directors, SCMC members, SEC members, service bodies, my senior colleagues, fellow colleagues, dear children from various schools across Gumadipundi, Tada, Kalahasti, Sullurpeta and our own Space Central School, their teachers who have accompanied them, their parents, a warm welcome to one and all. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for the warm welcome. Now, let us have the glimpses of the World Space Week 2022 celebrations. Thank you. Now we call upon Sri R. Senthil Kumar, DD MSA, Chairman Organizing Committee, to share a few words on this occasion.
A warm good afternoon to all of you here. Respected Director Sri A. Rajarajan, respected Chief Guest of this function, Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana, Director IIT Tirupati, Dr. Venkatraman, Associate Director SDSC-SHAR, Mr. Srinivasan Reddy, Controller SDSC-SHAR, and my friend Raghuram, who is the chairman of this organizing committee for SHAR, and SAMC members, SEC members, service body representatives and leaders, organizing committee members, students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and my dear colleagues, a warm welcome for this function. Right from 4th October, we had a hectic program scheduled at 8 locations spread over 4 states, one each in Puducherry and Orissa, which is yet to happen. That is the last event to happen. And 2 in Tamil Nadu and 4 in Andhra Pradesh, being our host state. The program went very well in all the 7 venues, with 3 state governors participating, one chief minister participating, and a host of ministers of the state who had participated in the function. And of course, we had luminous academicians also in the event. One example is Dr. Satyanarayana here. This World Space Week 2022 is a joyous occasion for us, having come back after virtually 2 years of all of us being in the isolation from one another. Even our auditorium, we used to conduct very rarely a function with only 30% to 40% occupancy, only to ensure healthy status of this center. So last 2 years it went mostly in online mode. And even Governor of Puducherry, who had come here for inaugurating the event, we had a really sort of health consciousness in ensuring that the event went off safely rather than went off well. And now, with the decline in COVID, we had really opened up, and it is joyous to see both the inaugural and valedictory function of this SHAR venue with houseful occupancy of this auditorium. Parallelly, we also held, from the last year's experience, an online competition also in 4 events covering both school children from primary to secondary as well as to college students. And offline competitions, of course, it has occurred in all the 7 areas. I can say modestly that this 2022 World Space Week is one of the best attended events among ISRO centers. We had learnt a lot of lessons in this process and which we will be correcting in the future. And as you know, this World Space Week, we are not showcasing our ISRO's technical prowess. It is more like the societal organ, that is awareness, inculcating awareness to the general public, students in particular, on space related activities, what is going on worldwide and in India and especially at Sriharikota. And for that we get put up stalls, display stalls with a host of printed material on what is a space, what is a aerospace activity, what are the planets, what is the solar system, and what are the solid planets and what are the gaseous planets, gaseous giants, and what is the air function. Each one of it was well documented, including our heritage of how astronomy as well as astrophysics was well developed in India, in ancient India, with a lot of gurus like Aryabhata, Bhaskara. All of them, what they did, they all had been documented and displayed. Along with that, what is the present Indian prowess in this space activity? That is the main function of Indian Space Research Organization, and what are the various launch vehicles and satellites, and what are their purposes and intent of use, and popular programs among them like how Chandrayaan-1 was made successful, followed by Chandrayaan-2, a near perfect mission, and of course Mangalyaan, a first country in the planet to achieve the first time to reach the orbit of Mars. It was a momentous event, all were captured and we tried our best to display, and our teams have worked on this to really take this forum into the common public and to the students. With this, let me end my talk with a joyous note that we tried to achieve what has been the job given to us, and to the best of our efforts we had done it, and we will be aiming to strive high in coming future events. Thank you.
Thank you for the pleasant talk, sir. We now request Sri M. Srinivasalu Reddy, Controller SDSC-SHAR, to address the gathering.
Respected Director, SDSC-SHAR, Shri A. Rajarajan, Respected Director, IIT Tirupati, Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana Garu, Associate Director, Dr. Venkatraman, Chairman World Space Week Organizing Committee, Shri Shenthil Kumar, and DD SOSC, Shri T.S. Raghuram, all the SAMC members, service body representatives, school children from various schools, and present media. Good afternoon to everybody. The week-long space festival is celebrated in India, and in particular Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu and Orissa and Puducherry, where SDSC-SHAR team has organized events, various events at 8 places including Sriharikota. This is celebrated with very high scientific temper. The achievements of ISRO for the last 52 years are well appreciated by all sections of the society. Various eminent persons from the society, like constitutional authorities, governors, high court judges, ministers, representatives of people, bureaucrats, eminent academicians, students, general public, and also some of the top movie actors. They have shown lot of interest to participate in the World Space Week celebrations. Thanks to local media in the respective states for extensive coverage of these events. The enthusiasm and participation from students community shows how ISRO has inspired the young minds in science and technology and also in space technology in particular. If the country can harness these ignited minds in proper spirit, definitely space sector will surpass IT sector in the coming days. This tremendous response from the public puts greater responsibility on Department of Space and on ISRO to make India the world leader in the space technology in the coming next 25 years, which our Honorable Prime Minister put it as Amrit Kal. Coming to the theme of this year, space and sustainability, it seems to be a very new word, but public has very much understood. The Honorable Governor of Andhra Pradesh, who was a lawyer and politician by profession previously, he has given a beautiful talk on sustainability and space in Puttaparthi. He also expressed concern over the increasing space debris and Netra project. ISRO has taken so many things, he talked about it. It has really delighted and felt ISRO is successful in creating enough buzz in the public and among the rurals of the country on the theme of this year's Space Week. I take this opportunity to congratulate the Space Week Organizing Committee members of SHAR and all the employees of SHAR who participated and organized various events at various places and inspired the public in space technology. Thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. We invite Dr. R. Venkatraman, Associate Director, SDSC-SHAR, to share a few words on this occasion.
Respected Director SDSC-SHAR, Sri A. Rajarajan Garu, today's chief guest, Dr. K. N. Satyanarayana Garu from IIT Tirupati, Controller Srinivas Reddy Garu, World Space Week 2022 Organizing Committee Chairman Sri Sendil Kumar, DDMSA, Chairman of the Inaugural and Valedictory Function Sri Raghuram, Deputy Director SYC, and my dear SAMC members, ACC members, JCM representatives and leaders, my dear students, community present here and teachers and all other friends from press and print media who assembled here for this wonderful evening to celebrate the valedictory function of the World Space Week 2022. I just want to say a few words. We Indians, Indian Space Research Organization, astronomy, astrophysics is not something not known to us. We already know, our forefathers know about it. But there was no technology to know the things closer and reach the outer celestial bodies. The quest for mankind to reach started in the early 1950s and 1960s, that period. And there was a race between the two superpowers when who wants to go out of this earth and reach the space and come back safely. When such a kind of thing was going on in 1969, really, the United States could able to put a person in moon and then brought them back safely. That is the time at which the humble beginning was started by our great visionary Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, that we should also have our own space program. At that time, the benefit, because the space what we talk about is not something what we see in the sky. Look at your head and see. It is infinity. Exploring the deeper space and space exploration is not a simple job that is going to over in a decade or 10 days or one generation. Has to go generation after generation, but he has made the foundation stone. But during the course of our research, there is a kind of spin-off technology, whatever has come up. This spin-off has come and given a very good returns in terms of improving the life of quality of the life of the common man. That's what he put forth very nicely. Whenever we want to take the advantages that is coming out of the higher technology, we should be second to none. But what today we stand in this organization stand is something great. We can see the younger generation team being attracted. Normally when we were all young, we used to be oriented or gathered towards the sports activities, matches, cinemas, but the recent days, in a few years back, we could see the huge gathering to watch the live of Chandrayaan to lander. If at all science and technology can pull out the younger minds, I am proudly telling that space technology, the Indian space program has dragged the youngsters to that level. That is what we are going to do today. The public outreach program conducted by the Satish Dhawan Space Center with the directorship controller, with the command of our beloved director, the teams have reached 8 different places. And they conducted the various awareness programs at a continuation program, though the center has been doing it for quite a long time, but there was a break in the last 2 years which we could not do it in the offline mode, we are only doing the online mode. Today, we are proudly telling 75th year of independence. We are launching the spacecraft for the country which ruled us for the 75th year from this soil. This is the achievement. But anyway, Honorable Prime Minister has been quoting many times, we have overtaken that country. We are pushing them to 5th place. Economically, we have come to 4th place. All these things possible because of the educated youth. Because the space exploration has to be carried out generation after generation. The younger mind should be attracted towards this. That is the kind of spirit you are having. But this year's title, what you see, is Space and Sustainability. When you see a benefit coming out of space technology application, spacecraft application, satellite communication, mobile phone of utility, CCTV, cable TV connectivity, banking sector, transportation sector, aviation industry, everywhere depends upon the communication from the space technology. But when we take more and more services from the space technology, there is a fear that, this generation should not consume the every benefit availability. We have to leave something for the future generation to come also. What sir, you have told just now, space is infinity. Why we are bothered about, let it be there? No. The useful orbit, the communication orbit, and the satellites where they are supposed to go, mainly close to the Earth, that is low Earth orbits, there is a threat, these debris can cause a problem. Some of you might have, my age people may remember when Skylab was about to fall. I was studying 11th standard or so. There was a space platform like, today what we have, space platform, what we have available, there was a platform, lab, was about to fall on the earth, and that was predicted exactly my native place. And everybody thought it is going to fall on their native place. So everybody started borrowing, everybody started eating, everybody taken, because they know we are going to die, like Corona time. Finally the Skylab has fallen somewhere safely, so no issue. This kind of, the threat that is coming out of these debris accumulating in the other areas. Today our launch window also coming. When we joined, anytime launch was taking place, any day. Today, every second is very calculative. People used to say, is it based on Panchangam? It's not so. There is another database available, one more Panchangam, this is cola analysis. We should not collide with the debris available here. So when such a problem is taking place, you younger generation people think of that, how the used items can be brought back safely. That is a new challenge. Today the business, space business is going, multiple times going up, something around 12.8 billion crores of dollars of business is being expected from the space sector. Lot of players are coming forward, enterprises are coming, and the governments also, they want to have their own things. When such a activity is going on, how to use the space, outer space, sustainable, that is the topic. World countries have taken up, all the spacefaring nations joined, including ISRO, Indian Space Program, for which, this theme is taken up. Our teams have taken the responsibility of reaching every one of you in different locations, either calling you to this one space center or moving to your place on wheels, and our another teams moved to different part of the different states, selective places, conducted the competitive exams, making awareness to you. Then you are all now charged to join Indian Space Program. I think if few of you can make yourself and have the spirit of joining, we will be very happy. This program will really become a useful one. Let me take this opportunity to congratulate all the participants and prize winners. Winning a prize or not winning a prize is not matter. Participation is very important. You all will deserve to get the applause from the conductors and the organizing team. Once again, I take this opportunity to thank the organizers for giving an opportunity to be with all of you for a few minutes, and all the best for your coming future days. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you for the enlightening speech, sir. May we now invite Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist, Director SDSC-SHAR, to deliver presidential address.
A very good evening to the entire Sriharikota and Solurpeta. Today's chief guest, Director of IIT Tirupati, Professor Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana, Associate Director SDSC-SHAR, Dr. Venkatraman, Deputy Director of SDSC-SHAR in MSA, Sri Senthil Kumar, who is the Chairman of the World Space Week Organizing Committee in SDSC-SHAR for 2022, Raghuram, Deputy Director of SOIC, who was the local organizing committee for the Sriharikota Solurpeta area, SAMC members, my dear colleagues, my dear students, teachers, parents, service body members, JCM members, print and media, and the volunteers, ladies and gentlemen, once again, a very pleasant afternoon to one and all you. Today we are gathered at the end of this week of World Space Week celebrations, culminating almost 7 areas we are accounting, and one more is still pending. It somehow, this time it has coincided with the Navaratri Puja days, so we had a double celebration in many areas. In spite of holidays in many other areas, almost all entire area wherever SDSC-SHAR conducted it as a holiday time, but the response was overwhelming. I just salute Solurpeta and Sriharikota and the organizing committee and the teachers in and around the school in the area for overwhelmingly participating even during these holidays, more than 2,500. Kudos to you. It is not an easy task to have almost 2,300 people, students participating in offline, in person, and more than 1,000 students participating in online. And that gives what kind of response we can have when we are used to organize and have, and that's what SDSC-SHAR was. Almost, when I went to Karaikal, in such a remote place, almost 5,000 students participated, because there was 5 districts, not like us. It's not even a district for us here. So that's way it was one of the, I would have said, rated as one of the best, and after 3 years of online program, and with the hectic, this was a very wonderful opportunity to showcase their thought and process. And some of the drawings, the sketches, the art form, the ideas, so wonderful. I want you students to keep it up, go and just follow your dreams. And I just want to say that it was really heartening to say that the efforts put by the staff of SDSC-SHAR in different areas is being responded overwhelmingly by you students all over there with a better this one. So I once again can salute you for that kind of response. Please keep that response going on. As you all know why we are celebrating World Space Week, what are the achievements? As Associate Director SDSC-SHAR and Controller and Senthil Kumar pointed out in many ways that it is showcasing the achievements or anything. It is actually is to show when mighty nations were fighting for supremacy, we, our forefathers, the founding fathers of our space, both Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and Satish Dhawan, many people, just looked at the application side, right? The application, how to make use of in a positive way, how to use this technology in a positive way, how to use it so that your day-to-day life. You know, DTH, such a technology which you are using and seeing more than 600 channels in your TV, is actually was a brainchild by Vikram Sarabhai of how to make use of a spacecraft to do a communication in remote areas, to reach the sensitive information at that time about agriculture and weather, how to reach them. And that is how the DTH in some more primitive form was showcased. Today it is in a very commercial, this one. So what I am telling is, what is a small idea today in your mind may become one of the best and the most profitable or most game changer in the entire life of the human beings. That's what I want. So don't get worried about what is your idea, whether it is workable or not. Please have your ideas in your mind, develop it, ask questions. Never hesitate to ask questions. I don't know how many people are able to follow my English, but what I want to tell their parents and teachers to tell their students is, ask them to ask questions. They should ask questions for which there is no answer. Actually, it is a question which doesn't have an answer is the best one, which makes you to think better, makes you to learn better, study well, and become a better human being. That's what I used to tell to all the people. Always don't afraid of asking questions. And we are prepared to have that a question which we don't have answers, so that we also become better people. We also try to learn better. And that's how we have to look at it. Okay? That's how it goes on. Now, coming to this, today's world, we got so many ideas. Actually, in Shuler, this one of the schools which I saw that asked them what are the experiments they did. One of the experiments out of the box is dynamic traffic management systems by a 7th standard student in one of the incidents. And here to the modeling, how to use fuel and whether we can get the fuel from the air itself. That's the air breathing technology. They are trying to work out a solution which was never thought of. So these are the things which used to come from the students, because always the original thinking will be always from students. That's why I used to tell. We always start learning, we set ourselves, put a wooden blank concrete walls and think in a straight-jacketed manner. So we say what we do is the right way, but it is the students, the teachers who teach the fundamentals come back with some original ideas that something can be done, and it hits you hard and saying that yes, we can do some other technologies. For those doubting Thomases, why space technology is being used is we should be able to go to develop technologies in a very cost-effective manner and in a sustainable manner so that we don't affect the future generation. So far, somehow we have to develop technologies. That technology will be used to some use, but it has started harming the generations to come, like harming the earth, environment, global warming and so on. So, the theme of 2022 was space and sustainability. It is that actually space for sustainability and sustainability of the space. Because as new and new players comes, 5 years back there was only 40 to 50 satellites per year. Today you know what is the number being launched? 4,000 and 5,000, and numbers are going to start increasing in 10,000 numbers per year. So many satellites are going to be in space orbit. It's a huge traffic in space actually. Such a huge traffic in space, you should have a very good technology to monitor. That's what we are doing in SDSC-SHAR with MOTR and other things and Netra project. Try to do and how to say ourselves where we are and how to send the launch. As Dr. Venkataraman rightly pointed out, earlier we had 1 hour, 2 hour launch time. Today we have only 1 second. If you delay, you will go and hit another object. So that is how the things are so high. So this is a new business which you can look at it, how to manage the traffic in space. Earlier, we used to do communications with a satellite at 36,000 kilometers. Now the technology has developed, it has become efficient, 5G, 6G, 7G, what not possible, with a low Earth orbit, where the distance between the satellite and you has shrunk to the level of 600 kilometers, so that you require so many satellites in place to get a very, very high data throughput. So this is one of the new technologies which has come, and that same satellite can monitor you also, monitor your movements also, both by visual as well as by microwave. Imagine the technology. Nobody can be hidden from any place. You can be monitored 365 days, 24/7, where you are, where you went, what you are doing, what you are doing. If you are even sitting in a restaurant for half an hour, you will get a message in your phone saying that there is another restaurant giving the same food. That much data is being flown. So the technology what you are seeing is such a technology. That's why when you develop spacecraft and develop technology, so much lot of ideas comes which can be made use to your common this one. See, for our new vehicle, we are developing hydrogen, how to service hydrogen, how to store hydrogen service and do. Now what happens? That same hydrogen, if you use it in your motor vehicle, you can have a very high efficient vehicle without any pollution. Imagine, that is what space technology, development of space technology helps you in your day-to-day life in some other way. Dental, as well as a left LED, small pump which is used to pump the small amount of fuels for the satellites for 15 years unattended, without anybody checking the maintaining that vehicle. That 15 years satellite is working, pumping the fuel in a minute. Same pump, if in a light way, if you do it and put it in your heart, you can start pumping heart, so you don't require a heart also. The pump will do the job. So that is how the technology can be developed. I'm just looking at what are the positives. So what I want to here tell is, students, just don't worry about ideas. Come with a lot of original ideas. Think what you can do, how it will sustain without disrupting the future generation. The technology that you are trying to bring out should not cause any harm to the future generation. And that's how you can sustain life in Earth, and at the same time develop technology that can sustain spacecraft in space. So it should be both are complementary. Try to do that. Do well, study well, and make this India very proud. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Now we request Shri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist, Director, Satish Dhawan Space Center, SHAR, to felicitate our chief guest.
At this moment, we would like to honor our dignitaries. We humbly invite Sri R. Senthil Kumar, Chairman Organizing Committee, to present citation to Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist, Director SDSC-SHAR.
We request Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist, Director SDSC-SHAR, to present citation to Dr. R. Venkatraman, Associate Director SDSC-SHAR.
We request Shri T.S. Raghuram, Deputy Director SYSC, to present citation to M. Srinivasalu Reddy, Controller SDSC-SHAR.
We request Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist, Director SDSC-SHAR, to present citation to Sri R. Senthil Kumar, Deputy Director MSA, Chairman Organizing Committee, World Space Week. We request Sri A. Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist and Director SDSC-SHAR, to present citation to Sri T.S. Raghuram, Chairman Inaugural and Valedictory Committee, World Space Week.
We are elated to take the opportunity to introduce the chief guest, Dr. Kalidindi N. Satyanarayana, Director, Indian Institute of Technology, Tirupati. Dr. Kalidindi N. Satyanarayana is currently the founding director of IIT Tirupati. He pursued Bachelor's of Technology in Civil Engineering at IIT Madras. He completed MS and PhD with specialization in Construction Engineering and Management from Clemson University, USA. He has been a faculty member at IIT Madras since 1991. In 2009, he was a visiting professor at Iowa State University, USA. He is recipient of many awards, including the Project Management Institute India Distinguished Scholar Award 2011. His teaching, research and consulting interests are in the areas of project management, construction contracts, productivity, equipment, C&D waste management and public-private partnerships.
At IIT Madras, he served as Advisor Alumni Affairs, Chairman Engineering Unit, Chairman of Implementation Committee for IIT Madras Research Park Phase 2. He has served on the committee for setting up new campuses including IIM Trichy, IIT Indore and IIT Jodhpur. He coordinated in detailed project report preparation for setting up the 6th third-generation IITs started in 2015 to 16. His services include Chairman of the Academic Advisory Group, Vice Chairman, Board of Advisors of the Glass Academy, Expert Member on the Board of Management of Building Materials and Promotion Council.
He serves on governing bodies of IISER Tirupati, NIT Tadepalligudem, IITDM Kurnool, IIIT Sri City, AIMS Mangalagiri, RGU KT. He serves as Independent Director on 5 company boards. With this, may I now request Honorable Chief Guest to address the gathering. Welcome, sir.
Sri Rajarajan, Distinguished Scientist and Director of the Satish Dhawan Space Center, other dignitaries on the stage, off the stage, leaders, scientists, engineers and staff of SDSC-SHAR, invitees, students, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed an honor and privilege for me to participate in the valedictory function of the 2022 World Space Week events being organized by SDSC-SHAR during the period 4th of October to 10th of October 2022. Actually, I've been planning to visit SDSC since I took charge as director of IIT Tirupati in 2017, but somehow did not take place. When Sri Raghuram and Mr. Shrikant approached me with a request to participate in today's valedictory function, I immediately accepted, grabbed the opportunity to make this happen in spite of having a couple of travel programs, so I made sure that I adjusted those so that I could be here. The World Space Week theme, Space and Sustainability, allows World Space Week to address sustainability from two angles. One is how space benefits society and contributes to the sustainable development on Earth, and the other is from what are the challenges ahead of us to keep space activities and space environment safe and sustainable. The theme is inspired by how sustainability in space relates to relate to how humanity uses space, most pressingly the orbital area around the Earth itself. There is much greater story to tell in terms of how space exploration and remote observations can help drive change in our planet. This includes measuring climate change, identifying pollution on land, supporting agriculture, disaster management, and so on. And the list is quite endless. Of the 169 targets, I understand, of the 169 targets that form the 17 United Nations Sustainability Development Goals, 65 of them directly benefit through Earth observation satellites and related technologies. Achieving the SDGs would be so much harder without the tools and techniques available to scientists through space exploration. I understand that the World Space Week is celebrated by a network of over 1,000 space-related organizations in over 80 countries, which is considered the largest such network in the world. World Space Week consists of space education, outreach events held by the space agencies, aerospace companies, schools, various science centers, planetarias, astronomy clubs across the world. I understand the SDSC-SHAR Sriharkota, which is the spaceport of India and one of the lead centers of ISRO, has traditionally been celebrating the World Space Week since around 2020 through various activities. And these outreach programs have been expanding over a period of time. And today we had earlier a very nice presentation of the large number of activities they were created. I was very impressed with the outreach in so many cities and so many activities, most importantly with participation of so many school children, the citizens, and also senior politicians, including governors and the chief ministers and the ministers and so on. That shows the breadth and the depth of activities that have been conducted. In fact, I was asking the chairman, what was your budget for this event? He said it's quite large. Okay, so he left it at that. The Indian space program has been quite fortunate to be led with great visionary leaders, including, Vikram Sarabhai, Satish Dhawan, Kasturi Rangan, and so on, a series of galaxy of leaders, U.R. Rao, Madhavan Nair, and so on, till the latest chairman, Mr. Somnath. And then we had great leaders like our former president, Sri Abdul Kalam, who has inspired the younger generation through his activities, through his speeches, through his interaction with the school children in getting involved in science and activities related to space. This is something that while the activities of the space programs, we have the Indian space program has been quite successful in the last 5 generations. Someone talked about 52 years since the programs have started, and the kinds of and the vision that was set that by our leaders like Vikram Sarabhai, that we as a country should be leaders in this particular activity. And this has been very seriously been supported by the government at all levels from the beginning. For that you need real visionary leaders like Mr. Sarabhai to go convince the political leaders to support these activities. And that comes from, you know, having a visionary leadership from the political side and visionary leadership from the scientific side. We have had similarly in the atomic energy program, we were fortunate to have people like Homi Bhabha and others who had this visionary leadership, which helped India to be a leader in this area. Today in the space program, we are in the top 5 countries in terms of the number of space programs that are being led in the world. And I don't see why in the next few years we won't be the top 2 or 3 countries in the next decade. I'm sure we can get there with more bright people getting involved in these activities. You know, ISRO maintains one of the largest fleet of communication and remote satellites to meet the ever-growing demand for the fast and reliable communication and Earth observations. Another thing that has been happening is the growing space sector business across the globe to harness the huge untapped potential that exists in this area. We have a number of private sector initiatives now entering into the space domain. You know, today we have the big movement for startups. All institutions have innovation councils. We have a lot of activities going on where young people are getting involved in startups. Now this has created a very rich and exciting environment in the country. Only yesterday I was talking to, in another forum, about how, you know, about when I graduated from IIT in 1984, from the IITs, almost 70% of the students went abroad. And immediately after graduating, they would go abroad, 70%. And of course, the number of students graduating then was not that big. For example, in IIT Madras, my batch, I think we had about 230, 240 students. So 70% of them, about 150 to 160 students immediately left abroad. Eventually, another 10% went abroad. Now let's come down to 2020, 2021, 22. The number of students going abroad is just 10%. Okay, it's come down from that high number to 10%. And of course, the number of students graduating from these institutions like IIT is over 1,000 students. I'm talking only about the BTech program. Okay, if you're taking the master's and PhD program, it's another 1,000 students. So even in absolute numbers, it's still the same numbers that are going. So why are students staying back in India? That's because of the immense number of opportunities they see in this country. And these are real exciting times for the young generation of students. The way India is taking off and the way of opportunities that we have. And space sector is also a sector where a lot of the startups are coming up. Now, space sector has been initially started off with strong governmental support with the intention of putting the first man in space, right? Then the intention was to put the first man on the moon, initial space activities were towards looking outside, how do we access this? But then more of the focus is now looking towards Earth from the space. And the sustainability theme that is being taken up very aptly. You know, today we have a crisis of climate change and sustainability, and this is happening at all levels, even in the space. Just now I was just talking to Dr. Venkataraman sitting next to me, and with all this, so many organizations jumping into space, he was just discussing about where is enough space there to put so many of these satellites and rockets and so on, and the debris they're creating there. So aptly they've talked about the theme of sustainability in space and sustainability from space to Earth. How do you use the technologies to improve sustainability in the Earth? But the point that I was trying to make is, while the government is the big supporter of these kinds of activities because of the huge investments involved, and also because of the larger societal benefits in terms of science and in terms of the how we use the technology for the benefit of the society. And in the last 3-4 decades, especially last 3 decades, and specifically more in the last 2 decades, there is a greater private participation in space. We have seen this, for example, we have all of you hear of Elon Musk with his Tesla cars, and then the SpaceX, where he's putting out rockets to carry even now their various activities. You have Jeff Bezos, the owner of Amazon's Blue Origin. You have companies like Starlink, Virgin Galaxy. So many of these companies are now entering into the space market. Even in India, the Indian government has seen the need for this in view of the growing space sector business across the globe, and to harness the huge untapped potential that exists in the country in terms of human resources that we have developed. Organizations like ISRO has, through this activity, created a number of outstanding scientists, outstanding engineers, and outstanding, and also a number of companies, for the supply chain. They supported a number of MSME companies, number of large companies, in terms of their capability to manufacture this high precision, high requirement items. So we have all this ecosystem that's created in terms of human resources, technical equipment that has been created, capabilities established in the industries in the space sector. The government has found it prudent to enable non-government enterprises also to carry out independent space activities. There are a number of Indian startups that have come up. I understand in the last, currently in US there are something like 5,500 space technology based companies. In UK there are 3,000 companies, and in India there are nearly 365 companies. And to tap this potential, in India we have created the InSpace Indian National Space Promotion and Authorization Center, and recently I understand the center is, InSpace is, the chairman of InSpace is the former managing director of Mahindra & Mahindra, Mr. Pawan Goenka, Dr. Pawan Goenka, and recently I understand they've started scrutinizing proposals to take it forward and fund them and support them. So there is a big opportunities that are opening up. A lot of data has been created over a period of time in terms of maps, geospatial data that is again led through the efforts of ISRO. And recently we had the National Geospatial Policy that was released in 2021, which has liberalized the use of geospatial data. Earlier geospatial data was very strictly controlled, taking the defense angle and all that, but this control has constrained the growth of use of this data. So now under this policy that has been just launched, the citizen-centric policy has liberalized the geospatial sector and democratized the data sets generated by use of this public funds for these various activities. Now coming from IIT Tirupati, all of you know IIT Tirupati is a new institute which is now in the 7th year of operation, and we've been growing very fast in terms of probably we are one of the fastest growing IITs among the 2nd and 3rd generation IITs. In 2008, the IIT system started in 1951 with the first IIT at Kharagpur, and the first 5 IITs were set up in the 1950s and early 60s, and then subsequently 2 more IITs started in Guwahati in 1994, and Roorkee became an IIT in 2002. We consider all those the first generation IITs. in 2008, with the growth of the country and the larger economy, increase in our economy, demand for manpower, and also to meet the aspiration of the people for better technical education, 8 more IITs were started. And in 2015-16, 6 more IITs were started. And in between, in 2014, 2 more older institutions, BHUIT and ISM Dhanbad also became IITs. So we are, IIT Tirupati is part of the 3rd generation IITs, as we call ourselves. That started in 2016 in Palakkad, Tirupati, Dharwad, Bhilai, Jammu and Goa. And when you look at these 8 plus 6, 14 IITs, I think we have been among the fastest in terms of growth, whether it's in terms of physical infrastructure. We have completely started our operations from the permanent campus in 2016 January, but partly started from 2018 itself. Again, that is one of the fastest thing in terms of number of faculty members. We have 105 faculty members right now, and in terms of student strength also. We have 1,400 students, out of which nearly 250 PhD students. So we're having a very strong research focus from the beginning. And we have been working very closely with various industries and the government research organizations. We have MOUs with almost all the leading CSR labs, and with ISRO, for example, we have an MOU with NARL, which was signed in April in the presence of your chairman, Mr. Somnath, when he came down to our institute for our Institute Day function. And, ISRO has, as an organization, not only contributed to making space vehicles, sending up satellites, creating all these various resources for the country, they've also contributed the manpower development. When I started IIT Tirupati, when I say I started, when IIT Tirupati started, I went there as professor in charge initially. IIT Madras is mentoring IIT Tirupati, so I was sent as professor in charge to start the activities. And it so happened that, and when you start a new IIT, the way it's working is an older IIT mentors a new IIT. So that's how I was sent there as mentor professor to start the institute. Subsequently, I became the director. So when we started off, you were said, okay, go start the IIT. And you have, only when the new director is appointed, can you appoint your permanent staff. Now that takes a year and a half for the government to do that. In the meantime, we have to run the show, right? So we were depending on the faculty from IIT Madras to come and teach, but I also have to run the show in terms of my administration there. So it so happens that our first our registrar at that time, Ms. Bhuma, who was the controller here at ISRO at the SDSC, and who was our registrar, I went to her and said, Bhuma, you need to get me some good people to drive this, and I want them to come from a good organization with a good culture, because initial settings should need to be good. And she said, yes, I'll get you the best people. And then she got me Mr. Adi Narayana, who was in charge of administration here. And I'll tell you, if IIT Tirupati has come to this stage, Mr. Adi Narayana had a big role in it, in terms of setting up the whole, starting from scratch, all this thing. Then, once Adi Narayana came, the way he was running the show, I was so impressed. I said, Adi Narayana Garu, you need to get me more people. So the next people he brought in was Mr. Shiv Kumar, who was in charge of accounts here. So he came and set up all our accounting and finances system. Then I said, we have to start our construction. I need a good person to help me look at day-to-day construction. Then we got Mr. P.P. Chaudhary, again from ISRO, who has been associated with me in conceptualizing our campus, getting it implemented. He was with us till just 3 months back. Because of his health condition, he's moved to Hyderabad. And then for our purchase, we got Govinda Chitti, right? So ISRO has also provided manpower in setting up and seeding some of these institutions. And then we have people like, today, the government talks about the new education policy. New education policy 2020, which is one of this government's big spearheading initiative. And who was the chairman of the new education policy? Dr. Kasturi Rangan, right, the former chairman of ISRO. He was saying, and which is bringing in a number of new ways of looking at education, how do we take in our education policy. So once again, so ISRO is not only done space stuff, but now they're setting up the whole education agenda for the country through the chairman, through Mr. Dr. Kasturi Rangan being the chairman. I had the honor of meeting him, having breakfast with him 3-4 months back in Tirupati. One advantage of being in Tirupati is you'll get everyone coming there. So you get to meet all the top people there. And then we have the, for running the IITs, we have a IIT council, the overall IIT council. And in the IIT council, there's a subcommittee which works, the chairman of the IIT council is the Education Minister of India. And there's a subcommittee. And the chairman of the subcommittee is Dr. Radhakrishnan, okay, K. Radhakrishnan, again, an ISRO, former chairman of ISRO, who is the chairman of the subcommittee to today govern the IIT system. So the point that I'm making here is, ISRO is just not just a science and a space organization, but also has been set some benchmarks in how organizations to be run. When I meet ISRO people, the kind of dedication that I see in them, and the kind of, enthusiasm. Today I was going around the various facilities in ISRO, and everyone I meet, talks with so much bubbling with enthusiasm with what they're doing. You go to many government organizations, you only get negative vibes, right? And you come here, you get so much positive vibes. And that's the culture that ISRO has set, and I to be replicated across the country. Final point I would like to make is, since we have a lot of young children here, a lot of young students, and since this event is being mostly organized in Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh and Pondicherry, one of the things that concerns me, being myself having deep roots in both the states. Okay, my ancestral roots are in West Godavari, in Andhra Pradesh, though I've lived all my life in Chennai, and my mother still lives there. My uncle who is here is also from there. All my relatives are there. And of course, in the last 7 years, I've never had association with the state setting up this new IIT. And one of the things that concerns me is the overemphasis on professional courses. Everyone wants to study only engineering or medicine, okay? But there is more to life than engineering and medicine. What concerns me more is the lack of desire or lack of enthusiasm for science among these students. And this, I would blame more the parents than the children, okay, in terms of pushing them into these directions. Now, without science, today we talk about innovation, we talk about all these things. All innovation starts with science, right? The roots are in science, and then engineers make it into products, into services, and they do the innovation part of it, but the start of the idea, everything comes from science. So I'll give you an example. In Tirupati, we have an IIT and we have an ISER. The Tirupati is the only city in the country that has both an IIT and an ISER, the top engineering institution in the country and the top science institution in the country, within 70-80 kilometers from here. Of course, ISRO is, this place is really blessed, having another IIT within 50-60 kilometers from here, on the other side, in IIT Madras, the top institution in the country, and so on. So there's a large educational ecosystem around here. So when I look at the number of students joining IIT Tirupati, I find that 65% of the students are from the Telugu-speaking states, Telangana or Andhra Pradesh. Across all the IITs, almost 17% of the students, because I did a survey for the ministry, are from these two states. 17% of the students across all the IITs. We have ISER in, now any student getting an IIT can also get into ISER, right? Less than 5% of the students in ISER are from these Telugu-speaking states. Less than 5%, right? So obviously a student getting into an IIT, as I told you, in all probability can get into ISER easily, but they don't want to go there, okay? Who are the students coming there? Our biggest group are from Kerala, right? biggest group of students wanting to come and study science are from Kerala or West Bengal. Okay, these are the two states that I think across the ISS, if you take 60-70% of students will just come from these two states. So they have this passion to study science for the sake of science, not from the money that you're going to make immediately after you're doing a job. I don't think any of the scientists in ISRO and the engineers in ISRO are here for the money. Okay, they could have probably made much more money going to the private sector. They're here for the passion of creating this this capacity for science in the country, capacity for doing these things. So my appeal to the students is go after your passion, okay, what you really like. I'm sure the events that ISRO is doing ignited this passion in many of you that I want to do these things. Take it forward. But the problem is that you're excited about this thing, but when it comes to your 12th class and this, other factors come into consideration. Go after your passion if you're really interested in science. There's so much opportunity. We need very bright people coming in science, and as I told you, that's where the whole thing starts. And then it comes to the other areas. So, I would like to thank Dr. Rajarajan and the ISRO team for giving me this opportunity to visit the center here. I'm looking forward to very strong collaboration between IIT Tirupati and the various ISRO organizations. In fact, we have under the National Mission on Interdisciplinary Cyber Physical Systems, they are setting up 25 technology innovation hubs across the country with the funding of, on the average, about 100 crores each. And IIT Tirupati is got the technology innovation hub on positioning and precision technologies, which is very much in line with the various activities of ISRO. You know, it's whether it is remote sensing, global positioning systems, GIS, tracking systems, precision agriculture, all this comes under this. So we are looking, you know, including things like atomic clocks and so on. We have a couple of colleagues who are looking at the issue of atomic clocks. I was told that there were a number of failures of satellites because of the atomic clocks failed, right? This is and we want to develop the capability within the country to make a lot of this instrumentation, a lot of this equipment, because today most of these are imported. So IIT Tirupati is a national center, a technology innovation hub on position and precision technologies. So that's one area that I'm very keen to work with the various ISRO organizations in developing these technologies and so on. So I will close. For the young kids, there have not been more exciting times for students and of this particular age group, with all these opportunities. So many exciting things are happening. Grab them, and all the best. Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for the inclusive talk. At this juncture, we would like to have group photos with the all competition winners.
Firstly, we call upon winners along with coordinators from Kalahasti Mandal to come on to the dais for group photo. కాళహస్తి మండలం ప్రైజ్ విన్నర్స్ మరియు కోఆర్డినేటర్స్ దయచేసి వేదిక పైకి ఫోటోగ్రఫీ కొరకు రావలియును. We request all the winners from Kalahasti Mandal to come on to the dais.
See, all prize winners, please go to forward. Coordinators, please stand behind, and prize winners, please go forward.
We request winners from Kalahasti Mandal to come on to the dais for group photo.
Otherwise they will damage the screen also.
We call upon winners from Tada Mandal. We request Tada Mandal winners to get ready. We request Tada Mandal winners to get ready to come on to the dais.
Request students to please maintain silence. We repeat, we request students to please maintain silence.
దీక్షిత్ రారా ఫాస్ట్ రా ఫాస్ట్
We request winners from CBSE and Government School, Tiruvallur district to get ready. We call upon winners from CBSE and Government School, Tiruvallur district to come on to the dais. See. We request crowd to cheer for each team.
Very person back and
Those who have already taken the photo request you to please kindly occupy your seats.
We request teachers, Matriculation and Engineering College as well as Gumri Pundi Government School winners are to be ready. We call upon winners from TJ's Matriculation and Engineering College and as well as Gumri Pundi Government School students to come on to the dais.
come fast. Fast. கூட்டு வாங்க கொஞ்சம் சீக்கிரம் வாங்க ఓకే ఫోన్ అందరూ కూర్చోండి లోకల్ ఇంకా ఆగేస్తాం ఫుల్ అయిందా మీరు ఆగేద్దాం అదే వెయిట్ వేసుకున్నాము వెయిట్ నెక్స్ట్ sit.
We request winners from RMK group of institutions to get ready for the group photo. We call upon winners from RMK group of institutions for the group photo.
Kindly be seated. Where they are both there? Call them. Otherwise how they will. Okay, wait.
We request students from Space Central School to get ready. Winners along with their coordinators.
Photographer time ముందరకు తీసి మనండి అతను
Request all others to please settle down. We call upon winners along with coordinators from Space Central School to come on to the dais.
பின்னாடி பின்னாடி வாங்க நீ பெரியவங்க குட்டி பசங்க வாங்க குட்டி பசங்க வாங்கம்மா பின்னாடி வாங்க ಇಲ್ಲ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ என்ன சேம் ஸ்கூலா அடுத்து எடுக்கலாம்ல அடுத்து எடுக்கலாம் ஃபுல் ஆயிடுச்சுல ஓகே நெக்ஸ்ட் காலேஜ் வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு
Program is not yet over. Request all the students to occupy your seats after the photo session.
फ्रंट उतारेंगे
We request all to remain seated until the event finishes.
Request students to be please seated.
We request winners from Naidupeta Mandal to get ready for the group photo. We request winners from Naidupeta Mandal to get ready for the group photo. We call upon winners from Naidupeta Mandal to come on to the dais.
We request winners from Sulurpeta Mandal to get ready.
నాయుడుపేట మీరు వచ్చి స్టేజ్ పై కమ్మి మీరు నిలబడండి ఫోటోకి దాం పవన్ హైడ్ పెట్టమ్మా
అంతే చాలు
We call upon winners along with coordinators from Sulurpeta Mandal to come on to the dais.
పట్టుకోవాలి అటు వెళ్ళాలి పాప అటు వెళ్ళిపోండి లీడర్ ఆగండి వెళ్ళిపోతుంది అమ్మా ఆగండి ఒక్క సెకండ్
సార్ వాళ్ళు వెంట వస్తారు ఓకేనా
హలో
We request winners from Sulurpeta Mandal to come on to the dais.
తమ్ముడు
We request all the students and teachers not to go out till the program is completed.
అక్కడ ఉండు నాన్న
మా అందరు కూర్చో அவ்வளோதான் சார் இந்த பார்ட்டிசிபேட்
காலேஜ் செப்பரேட்டாக நிற்கிறாங்க
அவ்வளோதான் நிற்க சொல்லுங்கள்
பார்ட்டிசிபேட் சர்டிஃபிகேட் இருக்கு சார்
உங்களுக்கு வரலையா
வரல அதான் அவங்க மிஸ் கேட்டாங்க
All are requested to be please be seated. We are about to complete completion of the event. I request all of you please be seated. I request all of you not to leave the auditorium until the chief guest.
அவ்வளோதான் சார் முடிச்சிட்டாங்களா இல்லையா
வந்து
Request all the students to please go back to their seats. Request all the students on the dais, please go back to your seats. Photo session is almost completed. Request all of you to please occupy your seats. request all the people on the dais to please occupy your seats.
Call back whosoever has taken photo. Okay? Because for national.
Request all the teacher coordinators, please see that all your students are seated in the auditorium. Those who have already taken photographs, request you to please come back to auditorium. We request Sri T.S. Mani to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to everybody. I am very happy to propose vote of thanks on the occasion of Valedictory function of World Space Week 2022 at Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. First, let me thank our chief guest of the day, Dr. K.N. Satyanarayana, Director, IIT Tirupati, for accepting our invitation and delivered an inspiring, useful speech on this occasion. Sir, hope you have cherished your stay at SHAR. Thank you very much, sir. Let me thank our beloved Director SDSC-SHAR for your valuable presence. Sir, you have been our pillar of support and guidance throughout this week-long celebration. Thank you very much, sir. Let me thank our Associate Director SDSC-SHAR. Sir, you have always enthusiastically provided ideas and guidance to take this program in a successful way. Let me thank our Controller SDSC-SHAR for his valuable support and guidance. Let me thank our Deputy Director MSA and Chairman Organizing Committee World Space Week 2022 for his valuable guidance, support in organizing the program successfully in all the venues. Thank you so much, sir. Let me thank our Deputy Director Safety System and Chairman of SHAR Sulupeta Committee of World Space Week 2022 for his valuable guidance, support in successful organization of the program. My sincere thanks to all Deputy Director, SAMC members, ACC members, JCM, Service Body members and all the employees present here for your valuable presence and support. Our sincere thanks to Deputy Director RO and his team for smooth and error-free support in live telecast of the program to PCR Mumbai and to other halls and photography and videography support. Thank you very much to District Education Officer Tirupati and Nellore, MEOs of Sulupeta, Naidupeta, Sri Kalagasti, Tadamandal and some places of Tiruvallur district and all these areas, government and private school staff and students for their support in participation in competitions and your valuable presence here. Thank you one and all. Let me thank Space Central School and ZPHS School of Sriharikota staff and students for your